Morning to all. Myself Rajni Sharma. Today I am going to introduce you history lesson number 1, French Revolution. In this lecture I will explain you the causes led to the French Revolution. First of all, the introduction of this chapter start with the flashback. French Revolution started on 14th July 1789, a very important date. At that time, the city of Paris was in a state of alarm, and actually, there was a rumor spread among the people that the king would soon order the army to open fire upon the citizens. Around 7,000 men and women gathered and formed a group, and that mob attacked over government buildings, and actually they wanted some arms and ammunition, and in search of that arms and ammunitions they attack over government buildings. A group of people marched towards the eastern part of Paris, and they attacked over the fortress. Fortress means killer, and that fortress, that killer, was converted into prison. And they also thought that there was that Bastille fort was filled with lot of ammunitions, and that's why they attacked over that on 14th July 1789. And in this attack, commander of the Bastille was killed and prisoners released. But there was only 7 prisoners. But that fortress, Bastille, was hated by all because it stood for the despotic power of the king. The meaning of despotic is having unlimited power, and that person, that king, use its powers unfairly and cruelly. And because Louis XVI, the Emperor of France at that time, was a despotic ruler, and that Bastille was hated by people because it stood for the despotic power. Fortress was demolished, and its stones were sold in market as a souvenir of its destruction. Souvenir means now after the destruction of that Bastille, and that stood for the despotic ruler of France, and that's why the people of France wanted to keep all the stones as a souvenir. Souvenir means as a nishani. Okay, fine. Now, this is the introduction of this chapter. Our next topic is causes of French Revolution. First cause, social inequality. Second, political causes. Third, economic problems. Fourth, rise of new middle class. Last, immediate cause. First, social cause. At that time, the society was divided among 3 estates. First estate, the clergy. Second estate, the nobility. And the third estate deals with the common people, urban workers, peasants, landless laborers. The first estate. The first estate, these were the people who were in charge of the church, means the father of the church. They enjoyed a very powerful position in France and they were exempted to pay any sort of tax. Second estate deals with the nobility, and that was a small group compared to the third estate. Like the clergy, they were also exempted to pay any tax, and anyone who had noble blood or were lords and ladies were considered a part of second estate. Third estate was the commoner of France, and they have to pay, and they were the only estate who have to pay taxes, whether directly to the state or to the church. There were two taxes: first, tithe and tally. Tithe means it was the tax levied by the church, comprising 1/10 of the agricultural produce. Tally means it was a direct tax. This was paid directly to the state. Political causes. First main point: long years of war had drained the financial resources of France. Second, France had a debt. Debt means loan of more than 2 billion livres. Third, to meet its regular expenses such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices or universities, the state was forced to increase taxes, which angered the people. Why the people angered with the emperor? Because that taxes were imposed, reimposed by the emperor, and only the third estate had to pay these taxes. That's why the commoners, the third estate, was not happy with the Louis XVI. Economic problems. The population of France also increased from 23 million in 1715 to 28 million in 1789. As you know that with the increase in the number of the population, there are other things, and because of the increase in the population, the people also face various challenges in their life, like food grains were now in great demand. With the increase in the population, there is an increase in the demand of the food grains, and with the increase in the demand, the prices of bread shot up. Wages did not keep pace with the rising prices, but the employers were not ready to give or increase income of the employees, and their income were not able to keep a pace with the rising prices. And because of all these economic problems, there was a situation, there was a crisis, and that crisis came to be known as subsistence crisis. It means it is an extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. Next point: rise of new middle class. Very, very important topic. A new middle class emerged, educated and wealthy during the 18th century. They believed that no group in society should be given privileges by birth. idea of equality and freedom were put forward by philosophers. The ideas of these philosophers were discussed intensively in saloons and coffee houses and spread among people. And the famous philosophers of that time were John Locke, Jean Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu. Now, the last topic is immediate cause. On 5th May 1789, Louis XVI called together an assembly of a state general to pass proposal for new taxes. Already people were angered with the increase in the taxes, and now again Louis XVI wanted to pass a proposal for a new taxes on 5th May 1789, and this enraged the people. The Third Estate protested against this proposal, but as each estate have one vote, the king rejected this appeal, and they means the Third Estate walked out of the assembly. Now this is enough for today, and I'll explain next topic in our next lecture. But if anyone have any query related with this topic, then you can personally WhatsApp me and I'll clear your doubt. Thank you.